Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Von Biggs, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Wilton Manors Police distanced themselves from ICE immigration raid on Wilton Drive. Tonight, Queer News Tonight reports that first Trump ICE immigration raid at the construction site on Wilton Drive. First reported by ABC Miami yesterday afternoon, ICE came to Wilton Drive and it included allegations of agents being excessively aggressive. Reports suggest that an immigration raid at a Wilton Manors construction site turned confrontational, raising concerns within the LGBTQ community about local police involvement with federal authorities under the Trump administration. Workers reported that ICE agents arrived unexpectedly at a construction site in the heart of Wilton Drive. They detained one man before returning and questioning others.
Get off! Get off! Get off! Why you hear me? Why you hear me? Don't ever hit. Okay, don't touch me. Okay, get off.
If you see any people like Spanish, they look straight right away, like we hiding something.
The subcontractor in this scuffle with officers at the scene asking us to protect his identity. He's now afraid of retaliation from law enforcement.
Okay, yo estoy grabando ahora porque aquí están entrando a una propiedad privada.
The man saying ICE agents showed up at his site Friday morning. DEA and Wilton Manors Police also seen here.
Somebody talk to him so he can see the order.
Agents taking two men into custody. The subcontractor, who says he is legally documented in this country, says agents asked for everyone's identification, including his.
Once they had the person they needed, why do you need everybody else's ID?
General contractor Schafer says things escalated when the subcontractor tried to grab the cell phone from one of the men who was cuffed. Schafer claims law enforcement was trying to gain access to it.
They took the gentleman's phone and tried to put it in his face to open the phone up and get into his phone.
Hey, you're not listening.
It was just, I was taken back. And again, the aggressiveness of one agent, I think, was just over the top.
Schafer said several agencies flooded the scene along with local Wilton Manors Police Department, which created confusion. After the incident, Wilton Manors Police Chief Gary Blocker made an unprecedented statement even before the community could process the event, reflecting how sensitive the issue is. The statement in Facebook said, quote, "Two immigration and customs enforcement ICE-led operations recently took place in our city. The Wilton Manors Police Department does not initiate or coordinate federal immigration enforcement actions. ICE operates independently and determines when, where, and how it is to conduct its operations," end quote. However, after this raid, business owners in Wilton Manors are seeking clarity as it has ramifications on largely tourism and entertainment-related businesses. It is still unclear which agency clashed with the subcontractor. Trump's immigration policy came to Wilton Drive yesterday. Queer News Tonight will continue to follow this story. You know, part of me thinks when you have federal agents show up, they don't. Local officials have no say. They have no input in that. And unfortunately, if it's federal, you just have to cooperate and go along with it.
Yeah, and a lot of these, from what I'm hearing too, is they're now seeking out people to give leads or people who are reporting things, and it's gonna, especially like in certain industries. I mean, it's a way to kind of take someone's business down in some ways. I mean, if I know my partner works in office cleaning, and his company of course has a very strict policy on hiring people. They have to do background checks. A lot of them are in financial services buildings where they have to have, but there's a lot of companies out there that don't do that. And so, there's going to be these, kind of lines in the sand drawn, and people using this as a method to kind of attack different businesses, or if a restaurant has a bunch of people that are working there that, I think we're going to see it more often, right. Unfortunately.
But you also understand that they are looking to create fear.
Yes.
And so they're not just looking for illegal people that are here undocumented. They're looking to create fear in businesses and in communities where they don't like the people. So Wilton Manors is a really good place to hit and say, you could be next, or you could get picked up with these other people. They have picked up citizens They have threatened to deport citizens. They're talking about putting American citizens who are in jail now in foreign countries' jails. So this is just an indication of how uncomfortable they want us to be.
And it's no surprise that Trump's jackbooted Gestapo acts aggressively. I mean, big surprise that they're acting like assholes. At some point, I'm sure, like you said, they will be back to terrorize our community again.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They most certainly will.
That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.